Well, certainly there was a time, call it 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when we first got into the market where it was a brave new world. And we were all discovering and unlocking the value of intellectual property. And the methods were very crude. The instruments were very blunt. The law was somewhat imprecise. We've come a long way since then. In the last decade or so, ourselves and other professionals like us who provide services to the corporations have really developed very detailed models, very detailed understanding of the strengths and weaknesses and the quality of certain patents. And what you've seen over the last, call it decade or so, is really an evolution of an understanding for what is a quality intellectual property, what may not be. How that's played out in the market in the last, call it 3 or so years with the American Invents Act and this whole emphasis on patent quality and move to reform has been quite interesting from the standpoint of certainly there's been a lot of good intentions and there's been a lot of very important and positive reform, frankly, particularly things like economic apportionment, very positive to get to the true value of an invention, its true contribution to innovation, and what should be a fair compensation to the innovators. Very, very positive things. And at the same time, it's been a little bit of throwing everything against the wall by policymakers, by certain constituents who've lobbied on behalf of patent reform. And there are some innovations, if you will, reforms in the patent system which maybe have gone a little too far from the standpoint of what's in the best interest of U.S. innovation, U.S. competitiveness. So in summary, what we've seen in the last, call it 3 years, has been a real evolution and a very finer understanding of value and of quality, some positive innovations to the patent system here in the U.S., some frankly negative developments and of recent very troublesome developments. But a lot of activity, a lot of turnover, and, of course, change to the underlying understanding of patent value here in the